Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Poppy Tooker, host of the radio program Louisiana Eats, airing twice weekly on WWNO. Hi.
Hello,
Good to
Ms.
see you.
Peg.
Hello. Such exciting news coming from you. Jenny Hamilton, Executive Director of the New Orleans Ballet Association. It's been a while, but you're going to tell us all about the upcoming season.
Absolutely.
So that's really
Thank
good
you.
news, of course. And of course, Alan Smason of the Crescent City Jewish News and TheaterCriticism.com. Good to see you, sir, as always. Later on in our show, we'll hear from the music group Rhythm and Rhyme. But first up, Poppy. Poppy, congratulations.
Well, who knew? The Gambit even proclaimed this week, New Orleans is drag town. And that's one of my drag queens right there on the cover, Lana
Well, explain
O'Day.
what that means.
Well, what this means is that, for us at least, the drag queen book, the drag queen brunch book, is finally here. And this is a book that sprung from all the charitable efforts with the Poppy's pop-up drag brunches all across town. It just was sort of an organic project that grew. There are the most, oh, there's my girls. That's one of my favorite pictures. And you can catch that next Friday. They'll be on the balcony again at Brennan's. But anyway, Sam Hanna took these beautiful photographs. There's over 60 delicious recipes in the book from all my favorite restaurants. I couldn't have done it without Ralph
That is
Brennan.
something we definitely need to point out, that first and foremost, it's a book of brunch recipes.
It is.
But then you also tell the story of many of our local drag queens,
Many of our
the
local
divas.
drag
But you
queens.
have like some really rare recipes. Flamingo's quiche. I remember Flamingo's
Yes.
restaurant in St. Charles.
Well, this was really a passion. Well, I worked at Flamingo's Cafe on St. Charles
Most people have
Avenue.
no clue.
When I was barely old enough to serve drinks, that was one of my very first jobs. And so they are remembered in there because they were certainly very influential. So that brunch launch next Friday, it's free and open to the public. It's going to be an incredible event. There will be over a dozen beautiful drag queens there. It's going to be grand. And this, I'm pretty tickled about this. You see, this is the party favor that was designed by my cousin Tim Traplin. And so everybody will be getting that to keep cool with next Friday.
The very talented artist.
Yes,
Tim
indeed.
Traplin.
So there's going to be a welcome cocktail from Hendrix, lots of bubbly cocktail specials. At 5 o'clock, I will be flanked by two of the drag queens as we savor the champagne in the courtyard. It's going to be just a once-in-a-lifetime event. So I hope everybody comes downtown next Friday to see us. And then it's before Steppin Out anyway, Peg. It's from 4 until 6. And then the first public signing happens on Saturday from 11 until 1, the day after the launch, and that's at the historic New Orleans Collection Shop on Royal Street. There's still a few seats available at the Brennan's second annual Southern Decadence Drag Brunch. They have seatings at 10:30 and at 2. I will be there, but I'm going to be in two places at one time because I will be going from Brennan's to the Historic New Orleans Collection and then back. And then also, new, starting this Sunday, every Sunday, there'll be brunch contraire in the Paris Room at Maison Soleil on St. Louis, which is just across from Antoine's. And this is incredibly talented Laveau Contraire with her dynamic drag daughters, Cinnamon Vixen and Coochie Lychee. And it's a great deal. It's a 3-course prefix menu for $40, and you add on bottomless mimosas for just $15. And that starts this Sunday. And then everybody's like, well, when are you having the next drag brunch? There's only one in September where there's seats available, and that is brand new, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Sunday, September 8th at the Parlor at the Pontchartrain. It's a 3-course brunch that includes delectable dishes like short rib dough with eggs and grits and fallen chocolate cake, and there'll be bubbly cocktail pairings, all from Jack Rose. And congratulations to Jack Rose, because they were recently named the best hotel restaurant of 2019 by USA Today.
And of course, in the Pontchartrain.
In the Pontchartrain Hotel.
Yes.
It's going to be lovely.
I was delighted to read, it was so interesting, Wayne Phillips, longtime curator at the Louisiana State Museum, who gave a history of drag in New Orleans in your book.
So as normal with my books, there's some history, there's delicious recipes, there's beautiful food photographs by Sam Hanna, and there's some very lovely girls who aren't really girls.
Here's to the ladies who brunch.
Yeah, very good. Very
Amen.
good.
Well said.
Okay, well, so once again, congrats.
Thank you, Peg.
Jenny, a new season with the New Orleans Ballet Association, but also year-round, you actually have a lot of educational programs, too.
We do. We offer programs for ages 3 to 80 plus at what will hopefully be 20 different locations next year in 3 parishes, Orleans, Jefferson, and St. Bernard Parish. So a child as young as 3 years old can walk into a center. All of our programs are always tuition free.
Wow,
so they can,
that's big right there.
It's huge. They're always tuition free. And so imagine a child, I met a mother yesterday who has 3 daughters and didn't think it was going to be possible for her children to be able to take dance classes, especially of the kind of quality that we provide. And now she has a home for their 3 children to come take dance classes. So we offer as young as 3, they can walk into the center. Until they're 18 years old, they could receive tuition-free classes of the highest quality that prepares them for a career in dance or any other career.
Where is this? Where do they go?
They are 12 locations in Orleans Parish, as well
So
as...
go to your website for more.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Jefferson Parish and St. Bernard Parish. And actually next week are open registrations at the Broadmoor Arts and Wellness Center, and also at Chalmette High School and at Kenner Discovery School, which partner with us. So in addition to that, we have a senior dance fitness program. So we're pretty liberal with the age of a senior at 55, 55 and up, and those are at 3 locations. And so seniors can just drop in their health and wellness classes, and that's been going on for 11 years. And 2 years ago, with the help of the Thomas Foundation, we were able to start a Dance for Parkinson's class. So this is open to persons with Parkinson's disease and their family and their caregivers, and of course that's also free and open. It's offered at the JCC, and on September the 8th, we're going to be launching our 2nd location in Metairie. So yeah, just year-round. We offer programs about 48 weeks a year.
So tell us about the season.
So we're going to be celebrating 50 years, if you can believe it. We're 50 years old in 2019. It's unbelievable. And we're going to bring back some of New Orleans' favorites. So we're going to kick off in October with the Trinity Irish Dance Company. And they really formed in 1990, started the progressive movement in Irish dance. Then on to Palopolis in November with a brand new show that's going to have its Louisiana premiere. And a big gala in January with dancers from around the world. Houston Ballet will be back in March for the first time since 2010 with a very special program created just for them. And then, speaking of drag queens, Poppy, we will have Les Ballet Trocadero. And of course, they are right there. They are really one of America's biggest exports. It is the funniest night you will ever have at the ballet. They are some of the most technically proficient dancers you will ever see in pointe shoes and in tutus.
So nobadance.com.
Nobadance.com for any more information about our education programs, as well as all the information about the season performances.
You know, Jenny, just backing up for a second, and that's something that you mentioned that most people I don't think realize, but that there are Parkinson's patients who actually can, I mean, it doesn't sound like, you know, like, wait a minute, but actually dance can be very therapeutic for some.
It is, and it's proven. It was actually a program that was created by the Mark Morris Dance Center with the Brooklyn Parkinson's Group, and now there are 250 locations in 25 countries that this program has done. And we were really the first kind of program in Louisiana, and now there are a couple of other programs starting. But the 2nd location beginning in Metairie was driven by the Parkinson's patients themselves. It wasn't, they wanted us to begin a second location because of the power. Movement has such an amazing power to heal, especially when it's paired, and it's live music with it. So especially when you pair movement and music together, it is therapeutic.
That's fascinating. I had no idea. Well, thank you very much.
Sure,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
the scoop. And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Phil Lagana gave us the names of 2 bitters that are traditionally used in New Orleans drinks, okay, and the cocktails. The answers, and I know everybody at this table knows this, but anyway, Peychaud and Angostura, at least. There are many others, but those are the best known. Now tonight's question. One Lakeview street is named after a World War I French general. Another after a French forest that sadly became a battleground. What are they? Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes: a year's subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, a dish towel with the message "Love is shrimp and grits" from our friends at Wearable Vegetables, and a pair of free admission passes to either the Audubon Zoo, the Aquarium of the Americas, or the Butterfly Garden and Insectarium. You can go to WYES.org. It's Steppin Out, okay, and see our online calendar, including the reopening of the Palm Court Jazz Cafe, and that's on September 11th, featuring Lars Ettergren and the Palm Court Jazz Band and many others during the month. It's quite a lineup. You can also link to WYES's YouTube channel to see our program. Earlier today, the band Rhythm and Rhyme, featuring Harold Steinitz and Dave Thomas, came by to perform a song from their brand new album. All right, Dave and Harold, Rhythm and Rhyme. How would you describe sort of your style?
Ooh, eclectic.
Yes, absolutely. There's many genres represented for sure.
Well, listening to the brand new CD called Wheels Up, it is kind of a combination, but it's all very accessible as well.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of Broadway, a little bit of rock and pop. You know, I used to say rock, pop, jazz, blues.
It works, it works.
You know.
Now, you all come from intriguing backgrounds, investment banking, management, but
Yes,
also
yes.
playing in Nashville for a while too, huh?
I worked my way through college as a musician in Nashville, and did that for about 5 years until I made a career path change, which has proven to be pretty good.
Good.
To go into the
Allowing you to
business
do
side.
this.
Right? Now I'm CEO of 2 companies,
Okay,
but you never
good
get the
thing.
music out of your blood.
Of course not. Now, you're coming from a medical background,
Well, it's
career.
more, I was a psychologist for 30 years, but now I've been a life coach the last 8 years. And I've been playing in bands since I was 16 and in college bands. And I had a hiatus for a while when I was raising my older kids. And but got back to it at my college 30th reunion. We had a reunion of the band. The school set us up with platforms, equipment, and we played in a fraternity house for the alumni.
Love it.
It
Now,
was
how did you all
wonderful.
get together?
There are places around New Orleans where you can go and sit in, which is really nice because you don't have to. None of the hard part of the music industry. You just plug in and play and go home. And so Harold and I met at the D-Max,
Which is where
blues
you're gonna
night
be
on Monday
playing?
night, and there's, they have jazz night at Prime Example, and we go to all these things.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of hit it off, and we started talking and working. On Wednesday, we would get together and write songs. And because we both like to write songs, we have about 55 songs in our catalog right now. The first 13 are on that.
Okay.
Getting ready to go in the studio for round 2.
Well, it turns out Dave is very strong with music theory and rhythm, and I have a little knack of lyrics, but we both do both. And we just found that this magic keeps happening.
And all original music on this
And
CD.
it's all
original.
original. And,
All
I
original.
came here to be with my younger son and discovered the rich music culture here. And Dave and I have been having just a fabulous time.
So when are you back at D-Max?
Next
Friday.
All right.
August 30th
Okay.
from 8 to 11, and then the September 29th as well.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
we're having a wonderful time.
Well, we wish you well. And what are we going to hear tonight?
Oh, we're going to hear Flying High, which is the first
title-
number on our
title cut.
Yep.
All
Off of their
right.
album.
Okay, well, let's hear Flying High.
Thank you, Peggy.
Get me out of here. Don't care if all my grief, sense my pain. Know it well, best not explain. No more doubt, the time is now. No more shots across the bow. Flying high, wanna be flying high. Wanna be flying high, so high. Flying high. Fly high. Flying high. Fly
All right, once again, you can see Rhythm and Rhyme performing at DMAX Bar and Grill coming up next Friday, August 30th, and then September 29th. Go to dmaxbarandgrill.com for future performances. By the way, that's right there at Jeff Davis and Tulane, if you're trying to. And I remember a long time ago, it was Jake's. Jake Chamber's Poor Boys. This is a long, long time ago. Anyway, they're really fun. They're really good. They're fun. And now it's time for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight, we are highlighting the work of artist Demond Malasaw. And this is, of course, Professor Longhair. And here's this, look at this, his portrait of Alan Toussaint. Gee whiz. Malasaw is well known for his intricate hand-sewn beadwork, which has been used to create many Mardi Gras Indian suits. His exhibit of beaded artwork, As Luck Would Have It, it's called, is currently on view at Arthur Roger at 434 Gallery, located at 434 Julia Street. His work will be featured through September 21st. To learn more about Malasaw and his work, visit demondmalasaw.com. He was recently profiled at the Jazz Fest in the contemporary art section. Also, he is a Mardi Gras Indian. So, yeah, he's really something. And now, Alan.
Well, you know, a little bit of a follow-up from last week. You know, Hadestown, that's what that little red flower is all about. They announced last week that the musical, the national tour of which is recently announced, the Tony Award winner for this year, would be coming to New Orleans. But I contacted the firm that handles Broadway in New Orleans, and the answer was, no comment at this time, and as Alice would say, curiouser and curiouser. More on that as soon as I find out. Now, over the course of the last several years, there have been several historical letters that have been read, differing people, of course, and this is put on by Antenna Gallery along with a program they call Letters Read, and it's going to be this Sunday coming up at the Crescent City Books, which is right off of Canal Street on Verone. This is going to be a set of letters that they read once in 2013. They're revisiting the letters by Lafcadio Hearn that were written from his stay at Grand Isle. Basically, many of these letters are being re-examined in light of today's climate of political unrest and anti-Semitism. So it should be very interesting to see what Lafcadio was writing to his editor, and some revealing pieces there. Want you to check that out again at Crescent City Books at 5 o'clock.
It's right across from the Roosevelt.
Exactly. All right, so there you go. Now, moving from the Literary Society to the, let's say, the Laugh Society, those of us of a certain age will remember the name Alan Sherman, and it'll bring around maybe some smiles and even maybe a little chuckle. He's a well-known comedy writer. Of course, he used to entertain all the big Hollywood parties with little ditties that he would make up to various popular and classical tunes. His most famous, of course, was Hello Mudda, Hello Fada, a letter from camp, which was also a part, and of course, as somebody who knows La Gioconda very well, Jenny, you know it was borrowed from The Dance of the Hours, Ponja Kelly. All of the counselors hate the waiters, and the lake has alligators, if you remember that part of it, okay? That, Hello Mudda, Hello Fada. Well, Phil Malasaw, who will be here next week, is starring in a tribute that starts this Sunday. So to give you a little bit heads up on what you're going to see in next week's show, check out Hello Mudda's The Wacky World of Alan Sherman. He's going to have things from My Son the Celebrity, My Son the Folk Singer, and joining him will be Lawrence Barron and Alden Hagedorn on the bill. the next 3 Sundays at 7 o'clock. Becky Allen, who had been originally slated to star in this with them, is not going to be in the show. It's Hello Mudders, the wacky world of Alan Sherman at the Monkey Hill Bar that's in the back of what used to be Ottoman Tavern,
And
too.
may I just say, having been there before, it's a very, very comfortable place.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
It was a restaurant at one point.
Yeah, it was a restaurant, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So also, after an incredible summer of song and dance at Summer Lyric at Tulane, Michael McKelvey is back doing another musical, believe it or not. This time, it's an unusual new musical. It is unauthorized. It stars Hannah Rochelle and Kevin Murphy. It's called Silence. It's the musical adaptation of, yes, Clarice and Hannibal Lecter.
Wow.
It opens in 2 weeks at the Twilight Lounge.
That Michael mustn't sleep, by the way.
No, he does not. And he was just, as soon as he got finished Matilda, he went on a trip down to Disney World, and he's back on the boards again. Amazing. He's not indicated whether or not yet whether will be fava beans and a fine Chianti to accompany the musical. That's Silence on September the 6th through the 16th at the Twilight Lounge, which is part of the WYES Theater, the former WYES Theater. It's now called the Twilight Lounge under new management. And finally, let's talk about the Curtain Call Ball at Le Petit. That's going to be on September the 13th. It's a major fundraiser for Le Petit. And among the stars who are going to be performing that night will be Broadway belter Betsy Wolfe. Now, you may not recall her name. She is always like when Bernadette Peters took over for Bette Midler in Hello, Dolly. Betsy took over for Jessie Mueller in Waitress, and she did a fabulous run with Jason Mraz and other people. She, of course, has also been known as one of the 2 lesbian lovers that were in Falsettos, and she also was in a fabulous production from Encores of the last 5 years by Jason Robert Brown. She also has a Broadway a group that she does for students, so she's really involved, very well known with the Broadway community, very connected with all kinds of stars. The Curtain Call Ball will be featuring her on the 13th of September at 6:30 p.m., and then the next night, a cabaret which is direct from Broadway and actually from Michael Feinstein's. It's called All Bets Are Off. And again, those of you who love Broadway, want to hear a great belter, Betsy brings her sold-out cabaret show to Le Petit on September the 14th at 7:30 p.m. And tickets start at $35 up to $75 for VIP.
Okay, and I just wanted to sort of clarify, because we were talking about Silence. First, they're at the Twilight Lounge. Apparently, they have 2 engagements, and then after that, they're going to go to the New Orleans Arts Center to continue on.
Correct.
So, all of that. So, drmisted.org/events for more details.
As I get closer to review it, I'll certainly have that
but they'll start
out
at the
there.
Twilight Lounge first. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. And now it's time for our picks. Puppy.
Tomorrow night, an August night at Antoine's, which is a fundraiser for the Symphony Chorus. It's going to be lovely. They'll be performing. And then there are still a few seats available next Thursday night for the paired rosé dinner at Bar Francis. And I'll see you all. See you next week.
Are you going to have a book for the next few months, like glued to your arm or something?
Well, Peggy, haven't I just had the thought of it glued to my everything for the last long time? So.
Anyway, once again, we're thrilled
Thank
for
you, Peggy.
Jenny.
Yes, Peggy, please join us. Our students will be performing at the Cultural Collision 11. This is a citywide celebration to kick off the cultural season in New Orleans, and that is Wednesday, August 28th, 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Ogden Museum. It is completely free and open to the public.
And lots of art organizations
Lots
there
of
to
arts
tout their
organizations
stuff, huh?
all over the city and area and the region, all joined together to kick off the cultural season together.
Okay, Alan.
So you were mentioning Mardi Gras Indian art earlier. Well, they're going to have a tribute to Mardi Gras Indian Society featuring the Maroon Queen of the Guardians of the Flame. That's none other than Charisse Harrison Nelson.
Oh, yes.
And she's going to be on tap of the Ashe Cultural Arts Center, along with artwork and performances by the Young Guardians of the Flame and Congo Kids. I say don't miss this. This is going to be at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon till about 6.
All right, and now time for my picks. Carl Mack presents, and as he calls it, the ultimate Mardi Gras garage sale tomorrow, August 24th, and this Sunday the 25th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Costumes, theatrical props, and much more will be on sale through the weekend, taking place at his Mardi Gras Museum of Costumes and Culture. That's at 1010 Conti Street. So always glad to add to your costume wardrobe. Kitchen Witch Cook Shop is closing its store doors. The shop, located at North Broad, will soon be, it's open now 7 days a week until its final day, and that's next week, August 30th. Jose Torres Thomas will be performing Aliens, Immigrants, and Other Evildoers at the Ashe Cultural Arts Center. That's on August the 30th and 31st at 8 p.m. Visit torrestama.com to learn more. And don't forget, WYES is having a barbecue Labor Day weekend on Saturday, next Saturday, August the 31st. Boots, beer, and barbecue, including a sneak preview of an episode from the new Ken Burns series, Country Music. The event will also feature live music from the group Wayward Jones. Tickets are just $35. Go to wyes.org/events for more information. Now, then, on Friday, September 6th, we've got another YES fundraiser. It's a Downton Abbey movie countdown party at the Windsor Court, with proceeds going to, of course, the station, cocktails, champagne, tea, and refreshments. It includes a ticket for an upcoming screening of the new Downton Abbey film on September 17th at the Elmwood Palace. So you get all that. Go to wyes.org/events for tickets. And thank you all so very much. And thank you very much for watching. Good night.
Sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area. Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich.